Totem Acoustic's premium Loon Monitor is one of their smallest bookshelf speakers, keeping with the naming of their speakers with indigenous Canadian animals and birds. This is a two-way rear-ported speaker with a 1-inch laser-etched textile soft dome tweeter and a 5 3/4 inch mid-bass unit with a copper-clad voice coil, which you can get in black ash, black walnut or satin white. They're actually reasonably easy to drive with their 8 ohm impedance and 87 dB sensitivity, and I had no problem in this test, particularly and probably because of the gutsiness of my own Hagel H390. The drivers cross over at 2.5 kHz with first order sloping, and I didn't find placement that fussy in my room, probably because with them on my solid steel stand and 2 feet away from the rear wall in the conventional places that I keep speakers, these unsurprisingly don't produce the sound pressure levels of larger speakers I've had occupying their footprint. Totem say that they are the types of speakers that are intended to be placed anywhere and including on desks, although I kept use in my conventional hi-fi setup for this test. But one of the things that's been apparent to me in trying this brand, whether it is or isn't possible to set a house sound is another matter, certainly based on demoing their now obsolete Hawk speakers and nearly buying them in fact, trying the current model Bison Towers that I've already reviewed on this channel and now these Loons, is this sense that music is tuned to an ideal of pitch quality, natural cohesiveness and with close attention to the tone that speakers produce. That's very much a Totem ideal, it seems to me at least, based on these experiences that I've had. The sound is far from wanting to be overtly searing with treble, so it's not a brand that you go into a dealer and be impressed with a speaker with far from rolled off treble that's there to sort of hook you in as being impressive, heightened resolution wise. Take your time and realise the naturalness and composed nature of these speakers, and I think you might come away with the idea that they could be easier to live with but are also more faithful to music. And that's not to say that the treble is all off, and I'm far from implying that. Some of it actually seems to be a little bit lower down than I found with the even more natural, if pricier, Bison Towers that I tried. And it means enjoying insight into music without having to listen loud. Qualitative listening, I suppose, rather than quantitative listening, if that makes sense. The other thing that impresses with Totem is build quality. Being made in Canada, not a country short of wood supply. I like the way the cabinets use these edged beading strips that prevent the sharp veneer edges being exposed and over time breaking up, or at least exposing the veneer edging more. I've had so many pairs of speakers where you start seeing the edges over time as they start to degrade, the wood naturally will degrade. The Bison Towers also use this edging, and I think it's common to many Totem designs. So the upshot of that is that these speakers will last a very long time with their original looks, I suspect. Some woods can change colour slightly and naturally, sure, but that's about it. I thought too that transient dynamics is above average at this price, and so too is bass quality, which is fast and agile, and so too do these speakers time well, so dynamically they are accomplished in this sense. The impression is of staging and imaging bigger than the boxes would give a clue to, but overall which is good. The sound is wider than it is deeper, I found, with an image that sits in front of you, and I had these speakers spaced about 6 to 7 feet apart. So overall then, in this short review, buy these with confidence if you want a premium, refined, naturally sounding bookshelf speaker that majors on a qualitative, cohesive sound, but which is no slouch with resolution and speed, rather than one that's all out shouty and brash in presentation, or one that is trying too hard to do something really well, like sound staging, at the cost of the naturally fundamental way the resolving nature of music comes across with these speakers, or indeed the speed of music. After all, isn't that what hi-fi is mainly about? If you don't have the resolution, don't have the quality of the detail and the bass, then what is the rest of the music worth? And in this sense, these are quite an addictive small little monitor. I think they'd make a great critical listening small speaker hi-fi purchase, and providing they suit your desk arrangement and setup, they would also make for great desk monitors because of their timing and speed, and the fact for small monitors you won't need to push them hard in the near field environment. I've got the price at the moment as $1,300 in the US or £1,395 in the UK, which, considering what they do, is about right for the money, I'd say. Thanks very much for watching.